Hello, everyone. What a late flight. I feel like I may have a little bit of jet lag, but however, I'm glad I made it to my destination. There were storms on my plane, man, but I thank God I was able to make it to my destination. Today was an amazing day. It was just packed, right? I mean, just have an amazing time with a family member that spoke at Transformation Church. And it was just great seeing them and just reconnecting for some years. And so it was great seeing that. And then, um, just spending time with the hubby, out of town is it's been amazing. And so after that, I had to jump on a plane and then make it here. So it's a little bit later, but I'm glad we finally made it. And so glad to be here. And just, I wanted to talk about celebrating every season, right? Celebrating every season that you're in. Find something to be grateful for in whatever season you're in. I know that some seasons may look better than others, but I think in every season it's important to give thanks. So you think about the season that we're in now, spring, right? Spring, it's beautiful. What do we think about the blossoming, right? Sometimes it's allergies that can be a bad thing, and then we have summer. There's good and bad things about each season, but they're all important for like life, right? They're all important for depending on the plant and the crops that are, that endure the seasons. They're all important, right? They all serve a purpose. So what I'm saying is yes, you may not like celebrate or have what is it, just have joy for the season, but there's something to find within a season, even if it's a season of sadness or joy or your frustration or whatever that is. Find a way to just celebrate, find the victories within those things. I know Jim Rohn, he talks about the winter, when there's a winter season, right? Um, and I just think about how important it is to just celebrate something, right? And I want to come from Philippians 4:10. I rejoice greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who strengthens me. And so that to me, just showing content and just knowing that Jesus, I knew you were going to be up. I knew you were going to be up, Kelly. I love it. I knew you're going to be up. It's late where I'm in right now. So, but hey, it is all good. So, here we're talking about rejoice in the Lord. And again, I say rejoice. I cannot express enough how much knowing and just having the confidence in understanding the being content, like it's just important to be content. I know King James says, I learned how to be abased, I learned how to abound, right? So yeah, so just be grateful, knowing that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, knowing that there's a grace on your life to go through whatever you're going through, whatever season that is, right? Whatever day it is, whatever circumstances you're facing, you have a grace to go through it, right? Some things, now I'll say this because when I was talking with my um like my counselor, one of the things she was saying was like, do you have a grace on your life for that anymore? And some of you may be dealing with unnecessary frustrations because the grace is lifted off of the thing that may have worked for a past season. And so you may have had the grace in the fall, right? But you're not going to have the same grace for it right now. So you want to look and take an inventory in your life of whatever levels or areas that you have frustration for and say, do I have the grace for this? Is whatever I'm allowing in my life, is there a grace on me to allow it in my life? If not, then it's going to be important that you just let that go, right? Just let it go. Because the thing is, it's just because you're allowed to have it in your life, does that mean you're grace with it? It's like a difference. Grace, when there's grace, like when someone falls with grace, right? There's a difference. Like there's a difference. Um, versus, yeah, I think about like ballet or something like that. Like if I try to go out there and ballet dance, I mean, it sounds crazy, yes. Um, there would be no grace for it. Like when I fall, like I don't even know how to do it. So, anyways, there wouldn't be a grace for it. Versus if there was someone who had a talent or skill or to do ballet or praise dance or whatever that is, if they fall, yeah, maybe he'll, but guess what, they still have a grace to do that, right? Like, and just be encouraged by this, that just because you mess up one time or you trip up one time or whatever, like don't just think that the grace just lifted, right? It's not going to be without mistakes, it's not going to be without oopsies and um different things like that. It's not going to be for that, right? Sometimes it's just a time for you to tweak and then tweak or fix whatever failed or fix whatever's messed up. Or sometimes it's going to be like, okay, is this the season or is this not the season? Am I just trying to go upstream while the river is flowing this way? I'm trying to go that way. So just ask yourself those questions. If you experiencing some frustrations or discontentment, is what you're allowing in your life, is there a grace for it or is there not? So, all right, well, y'all have an amazing night. I know I will. It's 1 a.m. where I am. So um, we had to, when I think about our aircraft, we had to do a couple of circles, a couple of loops, and then we still had to go around the city that I was coming in, and then boom, we're finally able to make it. So, anyways, glad to be here, and I hope y'all have an amazing night. Laura Whitland, I will see y'all tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much, Kelly. Have a good one.